Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Chris Nicole giving you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on what time you are watching this live. I know I said I wasn't going to do a live on this. It has been a very busy week. But after seeing the lives and seeing the recaps on this actual episode, I'm a little annoyed. Yeah, so we're going to talk about it. And for those who are on the live, welcome. And for those who will not be able to join us and actually can continue the conversation in the comments, by all means. So I'm talking about Married to Medicine. This was actually episode 8. So this is season 10, episode 8, Take a Nappa. And if I can be honest, this episode made me want to take a nap. The episode itself, in my opinion, was boring. In my personal opinion, the fact that this actually happened right after Quad was kicked off, allegedly kicked off, and then this is the episode, I'm gonna need Married to Medicine and do better than this, because honestly, their lives and people going live on IG and other places and doing their own recaps is more entertaining than the actual show. There were some cute little moments, but it wasn't all of that. Let me see who's in the building. Hey Shayla, hey May. I know this was a last minute live, but I'm just going to get into it because I'm quite annoyed and I would like to get your comments on the situation. So, I'm not going to necessarily like recap the actual episode because there really wasn't much to talk about. I will say this. Laura, beautiful young girl, definitely seems more mature than her own mother. And that's just what it is. Laura definitely seems like a very mature young lady who had to literally sit down with her own mother to talk about how she needs to mend her relationship with her sister, aka Laura's aunt. But I understand this is a reality show. I get it. But I also feel like, especially for these women to be so educated, have degrees on top of degrees, have a license to actually practice in their field, some of the BS coming out of their mouths lately has been damn ridiculous. And I don't know if this is just who they are as people, or this show has truly made these people ignorant as hell. I mean, we already had a situation with Dr. Jackie saying that Black women cry wolf. That's pretty much what she kind of implied, allegedly, that Black women cry wolf. Then we have the Dr. Heavenly situation, and she just will not take her foot off of Sweet Tea's neck, okay? And I have an issue with that. I have an issue with it because everybody, at the end of the day, yes, you have a job to do, but I don't like the fact that Dr. Heavily feels like she can say whatever she wants to say to people. But when someone gives her the same energy, she has an issue with it. All right. And one of the things that she said in the beginning of this actual episode, she's actually having brunch, I guess, with Dr. Jackie. And she's saying that this group really elevated Toya, and she thinks that Sweet Tea can also be elevated as well. And I'm trying to figure out, what do you mean by elevated, Dr. Heavenly? Because it's definitely not class. Because I would not know that Dr. Heavenly was actually a doctor. The way that she talks, the ignorant stuff that comes out of her mouth. I mean, this woman has talked about putting stuff in men's spaghetti, literally saying that she done trapped Dr. Daddy. I mean, literally saying the word ninja and everything else. And then let's not even get started with the live that she just did recently when her and Sweet Tea were going at it, but also the recap she did with Carlos. The recap she did with Carlos, she used the R word. And what I mean by that is Sweet Tea, she called Sweet Tea slow, but she used the most degrading word to call someone slow, if you know what I mean. And this is coming from a doctor. This is coming from a dentist. And this is my issue. This is why I said lipstick on a pig, because I don't care how much you dress up. There, in my opinion, there's something wrong with Dr. Heavenly. So, what does elevated mean? Because to me, just because you have money, just because you have degrees, what do you mean by elevated? Because as far as I see it, I wouldn't want your spirit. I wouldn't want how you talk to people, how you bully people. That's not elevated to me. Because to me, if you truly happy, if you are truly happy with your life, you don't have to do all of this. Like Dr. Simone is on this show, probably get paid just the same. And literally, I haven't heard just a third of the stuff that come from Dr. Heavenly's mouth. She doesn't have to do that. She doesn't. Let me see who's in here. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, Shayla. Yes. Hey, hey, May. And by the way, are you new? Hello, by the way. I'm sorry, I'm venting because I'm disgusted. I'm really disgusted about what this woman said. So the thing is that we learned in this episode that Sweet Tea has some issues. She has, I believe they said cysts, fibroids. She has a lot of stuff going on, where even the lining of her uterus is on the outside. She has a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff that a lot of women are going through and will go through. Thank you so much, by the way. What she actually is going through, a lot of women go through. Her age, younger, older, a lot of women go through. So many women have fibroids, they have cysts. This is normal. Okay, this is normal at this point. A lot of women go through this. And Dr. Heavenly, after her and Sweet Tea went back and forth. So during the show, the ladies went live. It was Simone. It was Phaedra. No, was it Simone? No, I'm sorry. It was Toya. It was Phaedra. It was Sweet Tea. It was the other doctor. And I'm sorry, I don't know her name because she's quite boring if you ask me. And it was Heavenly. And Heavenly was supposed to come on apparently. And I'm not mad that Sweet Tea is getting tired of Dr. Heavenly shit. I'm not mad at it at all. At a certain point, you can only get bullied so much. But I guess what triggered, even though Heavenly doesn't take much to trigger her. She just literally the way that her mouth runs, it's ridiculous. Like, again, it's hard to believe she's a doctor. But Sweet Tea said something about Dr. Heavenly's mother. And we all know Dr. Heavenly's mother passed. And when I heard that, I said, dang, Sweet Tea, that's a low blow. But at the same time, for people who are not in fandom mode, at the same time, let's not pretend that Dr. Heavenly doesn't always spit out your mama this, your mama that, and she don't know the status of other people's mamas when she say your mama. You know what I mean? Like, she's real quick to say your mama. So my whole thing is that when Sweet Tea says it, and Sweet Tea clearly didn't know that her mother had passed, which is why she came back on her live to apologize about that part. But it's interesting that Dr. Heavenly could say your mama this, your mama that. But when Sweet Tea does it, all hell breaks loose. Yes, by the way, definitely. And you guys, I'm sorry. Please hit the like button on your way in. Please hit the like button. So that's what apparently triggered Dr. Heavenly to call this woman slow and use the R word. Then she sat up there and claimed that Dr. G is still allegedly contacting Quad, and Quad shut that down immediately. She shut it down immediately and said, no, do not use me as a way for a storyline or whatever the case may be. Like, that is not accurate. So she shut that down. So literally, Dr. Heavenly, in my opinion, when stuff comes out of her mouth, sometimes I don't think it's true. She is just doing whatever she can to dig at people and to hurt people and go gutter snipe low. And so even after that, and Sweet Tea literally held her own, even the way that Dr. Heavenly was coming at her. And even Sweet Tea implied that, look, I got a friend for your Dr. Daddy, Dr. Damon. Next thing I know, I go to Dr. Heavenly's page, and Dr. Heavenly is implying to a certain extent that Sweet Tea knew about her medical issues prior to Greg. So in other words, it's kind of like she misled him and kind of played him to get him to marry her, even when she knew she had those uterus issues. Well, here's the problem with that. If she really was trying to play him and trap him, she would have tried to get pregnant like somebody else said on this show. See, that's how you trap, is when you get pregnant and then you got at least some child support coming in, at least. That's what you implied, Dr. Heavenly. You trapped Dr. Daddy. My take is this. Did Sweet Tea know that she had those issues? She claims she didn't. It's possible. It's possible her and Greg knew and they wanted to share this on the show and she doesn't want to say it. It is also possible that she didn't know. Why? Because how many people do we know from friends or family members that literally keep having pain, especially menstrual pain, cramps and things like that, and they're thinking this is just normal, they're just having bad cramps, and they don't go to the doctor to get it checked out. Everybody isn't willing to just hurry up and go to the doctor. Me, on the other hand, as soon as I experience some pain, I'm going to the doctor. But everyone isn't like that. So it's possible that she just thought she was having bad cramps and she didn't think anything of it. You know what I mean? And then the fact that Dr. Heavenly said my uterus works, my mama uterus worked before her uterus will work, her walls don't work, and I was just like, really? Like, really? Like, do you realize it's not even about Sweet Tea right now? You're offending a lot of women out there who are having the same issues as Sweet Tea. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? And this is why I say time and time again, just because people have degrees doesn't mean that they're classy. You can truly have an educated hood rat. Went to school with plenty of them. Yeah, I said it. Educated hood rat. People who literally may be book smart, but they're uncouth in so many ways. That includes Phaedra. In my opinion, there was just too much information. Like, why the hell did Phaedra have to say that she had diarrhea? Why couldn't she say she didn't feel good? Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, just because you have a license to, to actually practice law or medicine doesn't mean you have class. There are plenty of people I know I went to school with who was book smart, but they hood as hell, they ignorant as hell. And I'm sorry, Dr. Heavenly is in that category for me. Like, and she, in my opinion, was kind of smirking when she was talking to Carlos about this situation. Like, it's just like there's something in her. She claims all day long that she's really a sensitive person. If this is what sensitive is, then bitch, I'm sorry. It's no way in hell. Like, Dr. Heavenly to me proved in this moment. Let me see what you guys are saying. I'm sorry. Heavenly, Dr. Heavenly grew up with no windows. Yeah, and it's obvious. It's obvious by now. Why can't Heavenly place her with? And my whole thing is this. Everybody from the projects, everybody from the hood don't act like Dr. Heavenly. Dr. Heavenly, in my opinion, though, is not even a hood thing. It's a place of hurt. She can say all day long because she said she was that girl on the yard at FAMU. I don't believe it. It girls don't act like this. It girls don't act like this. She does where she came from. And if this is strictly for entertainment purposes, in my opinion, she has sold her soul for this damn show, because there's a certain amount of entertainment you can give, but not cross the line. And to me, she crossed the line. It wasn't even just crossing the line with Sweet Tea. You have people that probably watch your show. You have people who probably adore you, who are going through situations right now when it comes to them not being able to conceive or not be able to carry a baby because of their issues when it comes to fertility or their uterus or fibroids or cysts. You have plenty of women who are like that. And how dare you just say like it's nothing and try to say, well, she came from my mama, all bets are off, and she's slow and she's the word. Even Carlos had to say, let's not use the R word. How are you a grown woman with 3 kids and have a freaking medical license and you actually think it's appropriate to say the R word? Like, seriously? Because the girl said something about your mama, but yet you use your mama jokes or your mama digs all the time? So I'm not mad at Sweet Tea for finally saying F you, and if you want to go there, let's go there. Let me see what you guys are saying. Hey, about to say, oh, that puppy is so cute. I was thinking earlier, I would think these ladies' behavior on the show will possibly hurt them professionally. Heavily is doing a lot right now. Thank you. And I'm sorry, I can't do like the fandom. Like, I know people try to say I don't like certain people on certain shows. I'm not team any of them on the show. When they're right, they're right. When they're wrong, they're wrong. And Heavenly is wrong. What she did and what she said, and she's a medical professional. And this is like literally what, 2 weeks after Dr. Jackie's situation and what she said about Black women crying wolf, and then you sitting up there clowning the Black woman, talking about how her uterus don't work. Like, her uterus doesn't work. Seriously? And honestly, I can't say that she did. And my thing is this is another thing that's ignorant about the situation. Just because she's having issues doesn't mean that she still can't have a child. And if she can't carry it, there are other ways for her to still have a child. So what the hell are you talking about, Heavenly? So it's almost like you were trying to imply that what? If she can't carry her own child, that she trapped them? Is she not a woman because she can't carry the child? There's plenty of people who use surrogates all the time. So they can still have a baby, even with the issues that she's having. And the fact that she and Carlos kind of imply that, this storyline, there's something that's not clean in this situation. This storyline seems iffy. And the fact that she gave Dr. Greg a baby emoji, and now you having these fertility issues. So the hell what? So what? My thing is this, and this is coming from professionals. There are people who don't have the pain that Sweet Tea was having, because Sweet Tea said her pain is so bad that she had to do like a muscle relaxer. And I was like, damn, like that's crazy. That's some type of pain that I wouldn't be able to deal with. But there are people who don't have any pain. They don't have any of those issues, and then they find out they have fertility issues or they have issues going on with fibroids or cysts. There's plenty of people who have that also. So I just felt like the fact that Dr. Heavenly tried to use the excuse that she's going to dig in to Sweet Tea about her issues with possibly being able to carry a child, to where she literally also disrespected so many women who are having issues with that. I felt like for her to say the reason why is because Sweet Tea said something about her mama, but yet this is the same woman who's always real quick to say, yo mama this, yo mama that. Dr. Heavenly reminds me of someone who truly feels like, I can say whatever the hell I want to say to you, but you can't dare say it to me. And that is ignorant as shit. That is ignorant as hell. There's no way in the world. Like, I know teenagers who have enough sense to think before they speak, before they say some of the things that Dr. Heavenly said. So in my personal opinion, I don't think it's just that she literally just says whatever and she doesn't realize what she said until afterwards. I don't think that's the case with Dr. Heavenly. I just don't think she gives a shit. I truly think at this point she's a mean girl. She's a mean girl. And I think that probably comes a lot from her own childhood, and even the fact that she mentioned that her mother pinned her and her sister against each other, and her sister was considered the pretty girl or whatever the case may be. But she truly, I feel like, has a mean spirit, because she gives me vibes that she was bullied. She was bullied. She wasn't considered the prettiest. She wasn't considered that it girl. So now that she's having her moment, she's about to dig in and disrespect as much as she possibly can. And the fact that she's getting paid for it on top of it, like, I don't know. Like, I can't even look at the situation and say, oh, she's just doing this for the show. Because there's ways to still do things for the show and not go that low. Like, seriously, there's ways to do, if you are as intelligent as you claim you are, because you keep calling Sweet Tea slow. There's a way that you can use your intellect, and there's a way that you can use your education, and how you can be able to read someone down without going that low and disrespecting other women who are having fertility issues. Let me see what you guys are saying. It's a journey they'll go through together. This is nothing to joke about. She really wants a baby. Exactly. And how dare you go there because you like, I done look, my mama uterus work better than hers and she gone and I had my 3 kids. Unbelievable. Like, my mouth, I was just like, my mouth was wide open. I was just like, damn, she's evil. She's evil. Like, this is not cool. And the fact that people would sit up there, like, I'm literally looking at this, and there was people in her chat who are probably super duper Heavenly fans who was laughing their asses off like this was cute. This is not cute. She needs her sister. She might humble her. Fact. I don't know. Have we ever seen a picture of Dr. Heavenly's sister before? We've heard about her, but I don't know if we've actually seen her. Not only that, I was considering going to see her about teeth with what I'm going through, but no thank. Right. Because at this point, I wouldn't even want to deal with a Dr. Heavenly. Unfortunately, though, you do have people who, because of just her being a reality show star, will see her just because. And I think that's the issue. The issue is that when people start getting this fame or whatever, and they start getting praise for being ignorant, they act like they can do no wrong. And I think that's the case with Dr. Heavenly. She feels like she can say whatever and there's no consequences. Then she talked about the mama, she talked about the sister. And let me tell you something. I really don't think Sweet Tea is a punk by any means. I truly think that when it all boils down to it, Sweet Tea will give Heavenly a run for her money if need be. I really do. But to literally say that she's slow, and she called Toya slow too. It's almost like Dr. Heavenly has this mentality where if you don't have the education she has, you are beneath her. And that's a lot coming from a girl who is from the hood. She probably forgot where she came from. Like, you are from the hood, ma'am. You're from the hood. So it's like, who are you to sit up there and try to tell somebody they country or they slow and they need to be elevated? If you are what's considered elevated, I don't want it. If you have all this money and you have all these degrees, but you don't have the simple, you're just ignorant. Like, you're mean, you're ignorant. There's no other nice way to put it. I don't want all the money in the world and all the education in the world, but I'm treating people like shit when I get mad because they're giving me the same treatment I gave them. Not because it came out of left field. Sweet Tea is getting tired of Heavenly shit, so she gave her a taste of her own medicine. So she gave you a taste of your own medicine, and then you decide to literally not only spray her, but spray so many women who have some of the same issues. Like, this actual episode, I think, was supposed to be a dedication, at least, to women who are having fertility issues, who are having fibroids, who are having cyst issues. That was the end of the episode. And a lot of women were feeling that part of the episode. And what Dr. Heavenly did, in my opinion, was just shit on all of them. She really did. She just shit on all of them. There are people who have those issues and they have been waiting for years to have a baby. And you want to say, well, at least my uterus is working and my mama uterus working better than hers, even though my mama gone. Who says some shit like that? Dr. Heavenly needs to be popped in her mouth. She's scared of her sister. You think she's scared of her sister, Shayla? Has the sister been on the I don't know if the sister's been. I'm gonna assume the sister has not been on because they don't have a good relationship, and which is why the Allura scene was special, but at the same time it was sad because I'm like, Allura's what, 17, 18 years old, and she got to talk to her what, 52 plus mama about the fact that she needs to make amends with her sister. That's why, honestly, I feel like Dr. Heavenly had the issue she had with Mariah because Mariah is a very pretty woman. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that's what Dr. Heavenly was trying to imply, that her sister, and Mariah are kind of similar in a sense of looks and I guess being the pretty girls. I think that's why she constantly attacked Mariah. But interesting enough, Sweet Tea still went on live but didn't hold back. And she said, look, she didn't know. She said she didn't know about her situation with what was going on. And she said, don't bring up her husband and she won't bring up someone else's husband. And she did imply, or she said that when Mariah said, that infamous, do you want the receipts? Because, baby, I got the receipts. She said that Dr. Heavenly told her that she believed Mariah. And that apparently Dr. Damon allegedly has cheated on Dr. Heavenly. And it's possible. No relationship is perfect. But the fact that Sweet Tea is defending herself and Dr. Heavenly feels like she has no right to defend herself, it's interesting. It's really interesting. Sorry, it's no way in hell. This is why I say I can talk about these reality shows, but no way in hell I would be on a reality show, because if you have to act like this to get a buzz, F it. Sorry. I'm not willing to go that low and disrespect a whole group of women because she thinks she just sprayed Sweet Tea. She did not. And not just women. She called her slow and she called her the R word. That's a whole nother group of people you offended. Like, this is what I'm saying. Dr. Heavenly is ignorant as hell. And so this is why I said I'm going to go live and not really to go blow by blow on the actual episode, because to me it was boring. But those lives, I'm telling you, I don't know, y'all. I don't know how long this show is going to continue to last. And even Carlos said the same thing. Carlos said, I think because of egos and so many other things, like, this show may tank and go down. I'm starting to believe it. We have literally had within the past month 2 of the doctors on this show act the ignorant fool because of their mouths. And it's almost coming off because of their egos. And they're elitists and they feel like they're above people so they can say whatever the hell they want to say. But you're doctors and dentists. You're supposed to represent and you're supposed to be about the people that you serve. And it almost seems like they're only serving themselves at this point and their egos, and almost feel like you can't say anything to them. And it's so funny that, well, it's not funny. It's so ignorant that, and ironic that Dr. Heavenly used the words fertile in one of the videos. And remember, Dr. Jackie used that word about infertile or whatever, or you can't have children. She said the same thing. Dr. Jackie said the same thing Dr. Heavenly said in this past video that she did with Carlos. And remember, Dr. Jackie couldn't apologize to Buffy about that situation. She felt like she was making it a big deal. And this is why I'm saying, like, I think that these shows have not allowed these women to be in the best light. Maybe to the celebrities that got money, they don't care. But I know for me, your average, career-driven person who is not a celebrity, I'm looking at these women in a whole different way. Especially Dr. Heavenly. That's why I said it's like lipstick on a pig. I don't care how much you dress her up. I don't care how much makeup she put on. I don't care how much weight she loses. She has that soul of hers, and how she carried herself. It was ridiculous. Can we talk about Eugene taking Toya's weave out? I thought that was cute. Even though he was like about to perform surgery, I thought that was cute. I thought that was a cute scene. And it's interesting that, they can say what they want about Eugene. And definitely Toya has had her moments where she felt like she could say whatever and talk however she wants with Eugene. But I felt like that was a cute scene. And the fact that he said, well, this is considered a date, right? And then she was like, okay, well, this is considered a date. Then what's your next date? I thought that was a cute scene. Because, let's be clear. Like, once you get to a point where you get that comfortable in a relationship, your man will take out your weave, help you take out your braids, whatever the case may be. So yeah, I did think that was a cute scene. It was still boring though. Like I said, they say take a napper, and I'm like, yeah, I'm about to take a nap. It was really hard to sit through it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you claim you don't need Quad, but this episode right after kicking Quad off the show may prove that you need Quad. And again, I definitely don't. I'm not team Quad. Like I said, I'm not team any of them. But at the same time, there has to be a villain to a certain extent. Heavenly to me is not villain. Heavenly is bully. Heavenly is uncouth. Heavenly is evil, gutter snipe. And the problem is she's calculated with it now. It doesn't even come off natural. It's like you already know she's about to say something and give it like a punchline just to give some effect. It doesn't even come off natural anymore when she's on the show. Because when she said, you think we can elevate Sweet Tea the same way? It's like it was almost like I knew she was about to bring up Sweet Tea in some kind of way. She was about to bring her up because she's the new girl on the block and she has to pick on her because she can no longer pick on Toya. So you keep picking at this girl, and then now that she fights back, now you want to sit up there and disrespect her and disrespect other women? It's crazy. You dang on right, a man that can take your weave out, your braids out, all of that is definitely a keeper. So again, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I would really like to know, and hit the like button, definitely, but I would really like to know what you guys think about Dr. Heavenly's video with Carlos, the recap that they always do in that live. You guys can definitely find it on social media, on YouTube. Give me your take on it, because I just don't understand, for people who have been watching this show and have been seeing Dr. Heavenly since the beginning, how anyone can make an excuse, in my opinion, for some of the stuff that she said. I don't see how anyone can make that excuse. And again, I am not saying that Sweet Tea gets a pass talking about Heavenly's mother. And she clearly, I guess she didn't know that she had passed. So, hey, Lansky, thank you, brother. Sweet Tea was wrong. And she even said she was wrong. But again, Heavenly talks about people's mamas all the time. So, and again, how do you know what the status of everyone's mom is? Whether they alive, if they sick or they not? Why do you get a pass, Heavenly, and other people don't? Because you have doctor in front of your name? F those letters. Because if you can't treat people right, I don't give a damn how much school you have had and what freaking degrees you have. Some people don't care about them degrees. You come at them the way that you come in that Sweet Tea, it's going to be a problem. And it's almost coming off as if Dr. Heavenly feels she's untouchable. You know what I mean? It's almost coming off like she feels like she's untouchable. And usually when people get to that point where they feel like they're untouchable and they feel like they can say whatever and there's no consequences, good luck. Because usually that boomerang comes back. We see what happened with Quad. Quad thought she was untouchable and felt like she could sit up there and get Mariah kicked off and say the stuff that she done said about so many people on this show. And now Quad is possibly going to be without a check. Now, granted, Dr. Heavenly is a doctor. She's a dentist. So she will probably always have some type of check coming in. But again, you got to be mindful of how you treat people. And that is my issue. You got to be mindful of how you treat people. Heavenly was in her PJs arguing with CT. So, yeah, with a bonnet on her head. With a bonnet on her head. That's what I'm saying. Like, I went to school with plenty of people who are like Heavenly. Book smart. Definitely. Book smart, made their way to the top. But ignorant as hell, yes. Hood as hell, yes. And that's why I say degrees don't mean everything. They don't, because I know people with degrees and they have a license to practice several different fields. And you say something to them, they still ready to physically fight you. And it's like, you are a grown ass woman or man with several degrees and several letters, MD, whatever the case may be, attached to you, and you still act like you in the projects. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? That's what Dr. Heavenly gives me. And she can say all day long she's sweet. I'm not seeing it at this point. I'm not. And honestly, I really don't even think she a friend to any of them. Even Dr. Jackie. Dr. Heavenly is about Dr. Heavenly and what goes on in her household. That's the way I feel about it. He got his boo. Who got his boo? And it's like, and again, just because Sweet Tea may be having some issues in that area, now I don't know what the update is, doesn't mean she still can't have kids. Whether it's a surrogate or the fact that she gets the surgery and, she can try, she's still young. It is still possible, even if she has to literally, take her eggs, do what she need to do and get a surrogate. It's possible. And so you're going to make fun of people who possibly can't carry, because she literally was saying her uterus doesn't work. That's crazy to me. From a doctor, y'all, a doctor. So that's why I went live. I'm not about to go blow by blow on the actual show. Again, I do think the weave scene was cute. I think the allure scene was very mature and very telling of how Allura seems to be a very well-rounded girl, unlike her mother. Yeah, but there wasn't really much that went on. And of course, Sweet Tea's situation. Sweet Tea's situation, I think, was heartbreaking for anyone, even if people feel like she knew beforehand. But to say that she trapped him or she set him up, I'm confused on how. This girl works. She says she's former military, so she got health benefits. So this type of stuff where she needs to get surgery and everything else, I am sure her medical insurance will cover it. Hell, military benefits are excellent benefits. So it's not like she can't be able to get this stuff done. So I'm confused on where the setup came from. That's why I said, if anybody is a setup queen, sounds like Dr. Heavenly, who's making fun of the fact that she sat up there and trapped her husband. So yeah, to me, trapping someone would be, oops, I got preggers, we got to get married now. That's a trap. Because honestly, if he was that trifling and he found out that she can't physically carry the kids, he could always divorce her, which I don't think he would do that. But the reality is, he seems to be supportive and they're going to find ways to be able to have their kids. So, Dr. Heavenly, you just ignorant as shit. Like, there's no other nice way to put it. She definitely is one of those dark spirited people that at the end of the day, you just keep her at a distance. You may say your hellos or whatever the case may be, but you damn sure don't want to be a friend with her. You damn sure don't want to tell her your business, because she was real quick to say, oh, I know her business. I know all her business. It's so funny how you know everyone else's business, but people don't know your business. Or if you do tell them a little bit of your business, you're ready to fight them because they've exposed your business. Interesting. I could do without Quad. They need the Black Dashians, the Black Dashians back. I hope somebody don't talk about Alora's mom. You see what I mean? Like, yeah, like, and that's another thing too. Like, she's not even taking into consideration how this could also affect her daughter and her other kids, especially Alora, because Alora's been the main one on the show. Dr. Heavenly's about Dr. Heavenly. It is what it is. But you guys, like I said, I just wanted to come on to talk about this because I was really annoyed. I was just like, why are these grown women with, these medical degrees These are supposed to be the creme de la creme of the Black community. These are top-notch doctors, dentists. And the stuff that comes out of your mouth, baby, I would never know that you have all of this education. Like I would not know that you actually have several degrees and you have several businesses. I damn sure wouldn't want to pay for her so-called university, whatever university she have. I wouldn't pay for that shit. Sorry, wouldn't pay for it. Like, again, she is definitely somebody that I feel like you just say hi to her and you keep it moving. I wouldn't trust Dr. Heavenly at all whatsoever. I will say this, though, I'm kind of curious to see what this reunion is going to look like. And I hope Sweet Tea don't back down. I hope she don't back down. I hope Sweet Tea bring her twin sister and her mama. Because since you wanted to bring her sister in there and her mama in there, calling them country as if your ass not country. You know what I'm saying? Like, she act like country is a bad thing. I'm like, have you heard your accent? Now, I could say country bumpkin and stuff all day long, but at the end of the day, I've never heard somebody from the South talk about somebody else from the South. Like, she literally is making it seem like she's not a Southern girl her damn self. So again, she has this elitist attitude where she feels like people are beneath her, and it's sad. It's a sad situation. I honestly think that she would feel like that about Quad too. The only reason why I feel like she doesn't feel that way about Quad is because when Dr. Heavenly came into Married to Medicine, Quad was already that girl on the show. She was already the star of the show. So you can't come in with this elitist attitude with Quad when Quad literally can sit up there and run this show without you. And possibly at that time could have went to the producers and probably said, get Heavenly's ass off this show. But with that being said, you guys, for those who will be listening to this at another time, please give your comments below about the situation. Even if you are Team Heavenly, tell me why. Now, again, I probably will agree to disagree, but we can have that dialogue and we can continue this conversation. But as far as I see it on my end, I'm done with these educated, uncouth heifers. I'm done. And at this point, Dr. Heavenly, to me, these past couple of days, she has really shown who she is. And I'll be damned if I go through all of that school and all of that education to still act like I'm some ignorant chick from the hood. I'd be damned. But again, some people, you can take people out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the people. With that being said, you guys, I love you. Thank you so much. Like I said, I'm not doing a blow by blow review. This is my review. Dr. Heavenly ought to be ashamed of her damn self. So we're going to see how this show is going to continue to go. We'll see if this show can last with all of this ignorant nonsense that's going on. But Sweet Tea, if you ever do see my video, baby, keep your foot on that woman's neck because she keep coming for you. And the reason why she keep coming for you because she feels like you're the new Toya and she feels like you are beneath her. Give it to her ass just like she's giving it to you. On that note, you guys, have a wonderful evening and I will see you on my next video. Toodles.